everyone. So if you're here, you're probably from the latest video I just made about me managing to hit 2200 for the first time ever in my life. Um, and so I'm just going to get some quick announcements out of the way, so bear with me here before I get to the good stuff. I just want to say there's a lot of new people coming in for like a small little creator like me. It's really nice to see the interaction, and I really get the nice dopamine hits when I see that more of you guys are subscribing. Um, and honestly, I might have to fix my my janky upload schedule and get back to it. So this is officially part two to the video that I made a bit ago about how I got from when I first started 300 to 1200. That should be up here if I can figure out how to do this correctly. Um, and yeah, this is just talking about how I managed to get from 1300 to 2200. Um, this is over the course of about a year and a half, because in about half a year, maybe about 7 months, I went from 300 to about 12, 13, 1400. So yeah, so anyways, let's get into it. And yes, for the record, I have had two accounts. This is my second account, which is why it is only starting a year ago at about 1600 playing strength. Oop, there we go. That's better. So, I just went and grabbed literally a random game from when I was about 1300s. This would be about a year and a half ago, and I just wanted to illustrate more or less through these games how my process of thinking changed, and I'm just going to talk about how I gradually improved. So at this point, I had played in my first ever over the board tournament, and I got a provisional rating of about 1090. So I played my first ever provisional tournament, and at this point, I'm fully obsessed with chess. Like, it's everything to me. And yeah, let's just see how it goes. E4. This is what I've played for about over 2 years now. I've only played E4. If you look at my database, I've had literally like 10,000 games played with E4. But only recently I've started swapping to C4, which I'll explain as we get later. So E4, E6. And we get into this really weird French system. Here's a point where in the game I would notice a system like this, and I'd be like, okay, well, they want to push here, right? So instead, I would be putting a pawn on C3 instead of a knight, because, I'd probably go like here and put a bishop here and a knight here and castle, and I'd play along this really beautiful diagonal. But, again, I'm 1300. What can you expect? Puts his knight here. Now I go for it, but still he has c5 now, as expected. I take his knight. No idea why I did this. As I said, I just grabbed a random game, so we're exploring together. Takes, queen takes, logical, but I would now take with a knight, because obviously his knight can just kick away my queen. Well, he doesn't, but he could have just gone here. So we develop. I move my queen back, sensing the danger, and now I correct my error. Solidify my pawns, and already at this level, even though quite low, I'm still showing a pretty good understanding of like what is actually going on. Do a tiny bit of shuffling, trade. I go after his pawn. Looks like I'm just expanding, making progress, and take a pawn. And he blutters his rook, and I win. I actually thought for quite a while. Again, I'm trying not to talk too much about the actual games themselves, just more or less like trying to comment on them and the thought process between. So the biggest thing that got me from like 1200 to about 1400 is literally just playing chess. All I did, played a bunch of chess over a summer. It took me like 3 months to get from 13 to 1400. That was my biggest ever block. Once I got over that, I was fine. But yeah, no, it was literally just playing a ton of chess. Like, there wasn't anything specific, because if you're here looking for a specific, oh, here's how you get to get 2200 instantly, I can't give it to you. This is just what worked for me. So anyways, let's go to a different game. So now I'm about 1650, and the biggest thing that I would say, now we're in Blitz. So by this point, I had managed to get about 2100 rapid, which is different than Blitz, admittedly, because by the time I was about 2100 rapid, I was about 1500 Blitz, which is when, if I go back to the tab, at this point we're around here, and if I go to my rapid stats, I don't play much rapid on this account, but I did on my later account. Regardless, if I just go through my game, it's being a bit weird right now. I think I'll just close out of that tab. In essence, took me about a bit over a year to get 2100 rapid, but it took me another year to get 2200 blitz and 2100 blitz. It's a lot more of a struggle because larger player pool. At this same rating point, I was about like number 5,000 in the world, but right now I'm 15,000 in blitz. Although I'm 100 points higher rated. So different rating pools, different struggle of me needing to work on my intuition. So with 1650, I'd say the biggest thing that got me from like 1400 to I'd say about 2000 is Chess on Premium. This is not a sponsor, but having unlimited puzzles and especially the lessons feature, watching a ton of lessons and just absorbing everything was really what helped push me to 2000. And just, of course, playing game after game after game after game of chess. So let's see how this changed. E4, E5, Ponziani. He goes for this really aggressive variation. I'm actually curious if we turn on the eval. Because this isn't a game that I've looked at. Again, I'm really just choosing random games because I'd rather just like to see a general starting point. He pins, I develop, pushes, I go here, takes. I try to be, it looks like I'm still being pretty creative. Yeah, this is about the start of my, oh, and look at that, I sacrificed a knight. This is about the start of my creativity era in chess where I started becoming really good at tactics. And, now we're just going to cleanly execute the king with a pawn in about 17 moves. So yeah, at this point in chess, I was very spirited. I liked attacking. I liked doing stuff like that. And definitely me just attacking a lot of people in over the board and online chess helped me gain a lot of rating points just because I was really good at explosions, like brilliant moves. But to a certain point, this only got me so far because the biggest thing I was lacking and why it was so hard for me to stay above 2050, 2100 was positional chess. Last thing anyone wants to hear, but it's true. I needed to improve. I needed to say, okay, got to Owen, stop it with the crazy sacrifices and the big attacks. Sit down, slowly outmaneuver someone. Which is why I swapped to C4. And as you can see, it pretty much took me up to 2200 and from beyond, hopefully. And it forces me to just set aside tactics and focus entirely on positional chess. I've also been doing hundreds of lessons on positional chess. I've been watching videos, because you gotta think about it, I'm watching like 3 videos a day on chess. I'm playing tons of games. I'm creating theory books. You cannot underestimate the amount of time that I've just spent chess. It's honestly been the biggest thing for me. For anyone still watching right now, the biggest thing is that to get to this point, you can't just be casual about it. Chess is living. I live it. When I think about it all the time. I wish I was doing it and I'm talking about it all the time. So, apologies to anyone who actually knows me. But it's paid off. I've made incredible amounts of progress. And in my next video, I'll be talking about specifically how I managed to do it. This one is just wrapping up my actual journey as a player. If you would like more of these types of videos of just my overall journey, I would gladly do some. But because I know that the next 2 videos I'm planning on putting on the next few days are one on calculation, as was mentioned in the comments of my last video, and then one on, because I'm sure some of you are curious how I actually managed to do what I did. But anyways, E3, D5, this is just mainline English. And as you can see by my time usage, I'm still pretty familiar about move 12, where I'm looking at, because my general strategy in blitz chess is spend the first 12 moves, 10, 12, 15 moves, getting as big of a time advantage as I can, because positional chess takes a lot of thinking. So he goes queen here, looking to maybe initiate something on the queen side, looking to sack. So I called his bluff. I said, you know what? You want to sack something? Well, how are you going to sack anything if I can just take your bishop? He moves the bishop back, and I push a4. Computer's thinking about it. Oh, there we go. It likes it. Idea of it is I want to trade off my bishop for his bishop, because look, our bishop. This is positional chess idea number one. Our bishop. We are staring at a brick wall right now. So let's trade it off. He pushes g5, just going in full attack mode. I call his bluff. I say, let's go f4. He pushes, takes, offer queen trade. Obviously declines, and I put my knight plop right in the center. My idea behind this is I wanted him to take so I could have some sort of activity, and if he wasn't going to take, if he was going to do something like this maybe, then obviously I just have this. So, I'm threatening here and I'm forcing something to happen. So takes, f takes, continuing the pressure. He pushes, I take here, and his bishop gets rerouted towards here. And now it's blitz, so forgive me, because how long did I spend? Yeah, I spent like 20 seconds here. It's not a lot of time in general, but in blitz it is. Because he's making some very serious mating threats right now, and I'm like, okay, well, I have to survive. So first I check him, force his king back here, and now, if I recall correctly, let's think here. What does the computer want of me? He wants me to go here, I think. Best move. Sorry, I had to remember looking over this game. Point is, I'm sacrificing a rook, but really, what was that rook doing? His king's down there. Bishop and queen are never getting to my king, and I sacked in exchange, but also, what does he have? I played the more human move, g3, which he goes here. Now I actually just do straight up have to sack the exchange. Don't have a choice. Takes. Now I push here. I open up my bishop, look into land here with devastating checks, and just lock his bishop out. Queen here, threatens mate. I defend. Bishop takes. I take this. Point is that now any checks will be met by my king running. Any bishop checks, and everything's guarded. And now he's the one with all the problems, right? So he checks. I go after his bishop. He puts his rook here. I check. Computer says it's a mistake, but meh. As you can see, hard to prove. So I went here. Says it was the only good move. Point of it being, I'm threatening a bishop and a queen. Both are undefended, so I'm forcing a queen trade. Takes. I win tempo. I'm attacking the bishop. Now my rook comes in. Now I attack his rook. He's in a time scramble, so I take the rook. I push, and then I force a resignation via promotion. Point of this is, obviously, I mean, he can maybe block by going here, but, I'm just going to, push here. And tell me how he stops both of these. So it was a pretty clean win for 2200, but it's definitely, as you can see, a lot less flashy. It's about, positional ideas okay, I have a bad bishop, so let's trade it off. Me maneuvering my knight to a square that it works. These are all positional ideas. It's about seeing, the whole picture. And definitely, using this thought process has propelled me, I would say, a lot more to the level that I'm at right now. Of just being able to, think less. Play openings don't really give me sacrifices. I really just started playing the English, and it forced me to, become better. And yeah, if you guys are interested in other type of videos, sorry for low quality. I'm sort of just recording it because I feel like recording something. Yeah, I'd say expect more soon. One definitely on how I actually got to 2200, and then one on calculation. But this is just finishing up my progression. I'll explain more about how I actually did it, but it's just my progression as a player of going from no understanding of positional chess to an incredible understanding of tactical chess to mixing both, which finally allowed me to just click, if that makes sense. So yeah, thanks for watching.